Hi Melissa, we're all so proud of your book going to the New York Times Bestseller List. That's absolutely amazing. You're amazing, and thank you so much for writing this book because it's going to make a lot of other people understand me a little bit better. And I'm using a coffee stir stick as my bookmark. I thought it was a good idea.
What can I say? Congratulations, Mel. You made the New York Times Bestseller List at number 18. We all wished and hoped you can do it, and then we thought you weren't going to, and you did. This book that you created made it to the list. I'm so proud of you. I love you, and you know all the rest. Thank you for writing the book. It's amazing, and I wish all the best. Mwah.
Hey Melissa, I'm sure you're pretty sick of hearing me say how amazing your book is and how great I thought it was, but we just wanted to put this video together to congratulate you on making the New York Times Bestseller List, which is amazing. Completely, entirely well deserved. I love this book. I really wanted to be holding the British copy, but my copy hasn't arrived yet. But so yeah, congratulations. I loved it. I can't wait to get a signed copy eventually off you, probably May. But yeah, congratulations. I'll see you soon.
Hey Melissa, congratulations on your book, Harry, A History, being on the New York Times bestseller list. I remember last summer when you did your reading at Terminus and you called your mother afterwards, and your voice just broke when you told her how everybody stood and applauded. It was clear to me then that this book was not only a labor of love, it was a labor of life. And I'm so proud of you, and I'm so glad that I got a chance to read it. It put things in a lot of perspective for me, and it makes me remember why I came to this wonderful group of people and to this wonderful book series in the first place. So congratulations, revel in it, and when's the next book? You are writing another book, right?
Congratulations, Melissa. We are so excited for you and very proud, and you deserve it more than anyone that I know. And it's so great to see you succeed, and we wish nothing but the best for you. Congratulations. We love you.
I've been wanting to pick your brain about the contents of this book, not in the context, for a very long time, and compare stories. This is amazing. Thank you. Thank you for this. And I'm so very, very proud and happy for you. Mwah.
Congratulations to my friend Melissa Anelli, who wrote Harry, A History and debuted at number 18 on the New York Times Bestseller List. That's right, the New York Times Bestseller List, number 18. It's a big deal. Melissa, congratulations on a big day, and here's to many more. Mwah. Love you.
Buoyed by the success of having a set pub date, the British and American publishers of Harry Potter decided on a simultaneous release for the fourth book, Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. Again, no one really remembers whose idea it was, although Jo Rowling says it may have been her idea to time the release to the minute, because if you're going to have a simultaneous publication, you might as well go all the way and crack the books right after midnight. It became more of a celebration, she said. I don't realize how big of a deal that would become. And it became quite a photo op, even more than the post-school bonanza that had occurred with the release of Book 3. No more kids in school clothes queuing in bright daylight. Now they were up past bedtime. They came wearing robes and glasses and with little scars painted on their foreheads, often with parents who also had robes and glasses and little scars painted on their foreheads.
The day Goblet of Fire was released, the Harry Potter books had been on the New York Times bestseller list for 80 weeks. Sorcerer's Stone had been on the list for 6 months and had peaked at number 4. When Chamber came out, it hit number 1 and kept its predecessor hovering at 6 or higher. When Prisoner debuted, the 3 books rotated positions in the top 3 spots for weeks. Eventually, Sorcerer's Stone would drop below the 10th spot, but by spring of 2000, books by John Grisham, Nora Roberts, and Isabel Allende would mingle again beside the latter 2 Potters in the highest ranks. But with 4 more books still to come, it was beginning to look like Harry Potter could monopolize the list for years.
The practical reality of the New York Times bestseller list cannot be underestimated. Not only do New York Times bestsellers usually proclaim their status on their front covers, bookstores are in the habit of snipping up the lists from that week's paper and setting up a display featuring all the books on it. Being on the bestseller list earned authors bonuses from the publishers, earned publishers the most sought-after placement in bookstores, and exponentially increased any book sales. Books that get onto the list usually stay there for at least a short while, fueled simply by the fact that they are on the list.
And Harry Potter was hogging it. If the past was any indication, the publicity around the release of the fourth book, the first one to be released since Harry Potter became a real phenomenon, would mean that the books wouldn't just pinch camp in the top 4 slots. They might be having bonfires and singing Kumbaya there forever. To celebrate the accomplishment of ranking all currently published books at the top of the list, Arthur Levine's father had a printout of the list stamped onto his t-shirt, which he wore proudly. Adult publishers looked at the future and saw their hopes and dreams and titles being blocked, said Eden Ross Lipson, the editor of the New York Times Book Review at the time. It was clear it would dominate all against all comers. Yet the book review is for adults, although it has regular children's features. Most of the advertising is for adult books, and there was nothing comparable to Harry Potter coming along, so the idea was to break it out of the list before the fourth book was published.
The idea of splitting the list had never been seriously considered before by the editing or advertising departments, though other children's publishers had been asking for the change for a while so they could showcase a market that previously had no chance of attaining New York Times bestseller fame. But even that was changing. Harry Potter had not only opened a children's doorway to the list, but it helped other books find it. In June 2000, the Times list also featured the 250-page Bud Not Buddy, a Newbery Honor-winning novel by Christopher Paul Curtis, and The Legend of Luke, a hefty 412-page novel that was the 12th in Brian Jacques' popular Redwall series. Both are children's books.
In late June 2000, the New York Times announced it would be splitting its list into bestsellers and children's bestsellers. Along with the children's bestseller list, there would now be a separate paperback and hardcover lists for fiction, nonfiction, and advice, how-to, and miscellaneous. The main adult and children's list would have 15 slots and mix nonfiction and fiction together. Harry Potter cracked the Times list into 8 pieces. There was relief from everyone except perhaps Scholastic, says Lipson. As I recall, they boycotted for a year or so and took no ads in the Daily or the Book Review.
Nearly everyone involved in Harry Potter today, when discussing the splitting of the list, still gets that puckered look on their face, including Joe Rowling. Even in late 2007, sitting with coffee and sandwiches in front of a fireplace in her warmly decorated Edinburgh home, she gets pinched up thinking about it. She believes the New York Times was wrong. I think the decision was taken not because they felt there should be a children's list or an adult list, but they felt that Harry shouldn't top the overall fiction list. Still, she sighed and remembered, we'd had our day. I had my day of being number 1, 2, 3, and 4 at the top of the New York Times bestseller list. And if the splitting of the list helped children's fiction overall, if that's true, that's great. If that's true, I'm happy. And I would like to retract my former statement, she laughs. But if it's not true, I'm hacked off.